Hello, everybody from Hayward on the stream. About set to go. Sam on the board. Big show today. Not going to want to miss it.
Seconds.
Thank you.
Live on location, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Todd Allbaugh here live at our WBZH studios in downtown Hayward as we continue our coverage of the 51st Annual America Birkebeiner from beautiful Hayward, Wisconsin. It is Friday, TGIF, the 21st day of February 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite. It's a great day to be outside and enjoy the Birkebeiner, and we have a big show lined up for you today. Helping us out back at the world headquarters in downtown Madison, Wisconsin, our very own Sam Davison, who is filling in for Mr. Zommers, who is taking a well-earned day off on this Friday. Sam, you, of course, are the producer for the John and Gordy Show every morning, 6 until 8 on our flagship station down there in Madison, Wisconsin, WMDX. Thank you so much. Always great to be with you, my friend.
Glad to be here. I couldn't miss it for the Berkey broadcast.
Well, we're here in our beautiful studios here, right downtown Hayward. We have our this year's Berkey poster for those watching on the stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X. You can see the video of it all afternoon long here. I even purchased this year's Berkey mug, Sam. So we got the Berkey mug here, and I have a Danish friends, so we got one of the great gift shops in downtown Hayward here, a great Scandinavian gift shop. I have the little Denmark flag cup in honor of Denmark and Greenland. How about that?
That's great.
Have you ever been up here before, Sam?
I don't think so. No.
Well, it's a great. You've spent time at Rhinelander because
Right.
you're helping out with you're an Eagle Scout, and you help out with Boy Scouting up there at Rhinelander. I guess in North Woods terms, not a whole far, maybe an hour away or so.
Yeah. I've been up north plenty of times, but I've never been Hayward area. No.
Yeah. Well, stop on over if you ever get a chance, and everyone else as well. It's just a beautiful town. Events going on today, both here and in Cable, Wisconsin, where the start of the race is, and then everything ends up downtown here, and right on Main Street, a half a block from where we were at yesterday. Of course, we were outside yesterday. Decided to move inside today, not so much because of the temperature, but just because there's not as much activity right downtown today. Of course, the big race is tomorrow in the afternoon. The Slumberland American Birkebeiner actually starts tomorrow morning, 8:15 to 10:10. It takes 2 hours as they stagger people in these times, and then it goes all across the North Woods here and ends right downtown in Hayward here behind us. It's just such a great environment. Last night they had the big ski race, literally big. You put 6 people on one pair of skis, and then they race down, and there's heats. It took them over an hour and a half to get through everybody and to get eliminations, and people dress up in costumes. It's just so cool, so festive. There's all kinds of food places. Last night, I helped myself to some of the local beverages, Sam. I may have had a brandy old-fashioned sweet and a little pizza and a sandwich in downtown Hayward last night, but that's the kind of environment you get. It's family-friendly. There's something for everyone, so it's just so much fun. And you're an outdoor guy, Sam.
I am. Yeah, I like spending time out in the sticks. It sounds like a great time you're having down there or up
It
there.
is. It is. It's just been a heck of a lot of fun, and we're going to talk about it throughout the day. Also, one of our regular guests, Brady Ewing, is going to be here at 12:30 to talk a little football, Badger sports, life, and more. He's an outside guy, too, so we'll talk to Brady. In hour number 2, we have a little What's Worse for You involving outerwear in the winter, so looking forward to that. And Sean Connolly, the Berkey organizer, may be calling in at some point. He's a busy guy, but he's going to stop in. Of course, he was on our colleague Jane McNair's show here a few days ago, but he may be calling in, giving us the latest on the Berkey here. And also normally have Peter Rapine from EPOM's World. He's feeling a little under the weather, so we have Chris Pauls, our friend and colleague here, in with Week in Review, a humorous look at the things that wacky humans do. So all of that coming up on today's show. But we're going to begin it here right now at 11 minutes past the hour of 12 noon with a participant of the American Birkebeiner here coming up tomorrow in downtown Hayward, Wisconsin. Joining us via phone right now, we have Ryan Kramer on the phone, a native of Eau Claire, so just down the road here in northern Wisconsin. He is a Birkebeiner participant, and he's also a first lieutenant in the United States Space Force and a graduate of the Air Force Academy. Ryan, thank you so much for taking time to join us via phone today. And first of all, thank you for your service. Myself and everybody here at the Todd Allbaugh Show, the deepest of admiration and thanks for all of our men and women who serve in uniform.
Well, thank you, Todd, for all of that, and I appreciate you having me on today.
Well, so you're traveling where? So you're currently stationed where right now?
Currently, I'm at Schriever Space Force Base out in the east side of Colorado Springs.
Well, that's not a bad gig either, right? So I mean, there must be a lot of skiing out there.
A decent amount down Colorado Springs, but Colorado as a whole, you have to drive a couple hours to get out to the mountains, to get to Breckenridge and to the Vail areas.
Yeah. I was out there a couple times last year. I have friends that live in Fort Collins, and they got married in Breckenridge. So really the first time I've been in that part of Colorado. Just a beautiful place. So what is it, Ryan, that wants to make you come back to Wisconsin to participate in this year's Birkebeiner?
Well, this is a thing that I consider part of my heritage at this point. I got into ski jumping way early on, and that was something that my grandpa did when he lived in Eau Claire back in the 1920s. And then my dad carried on that tradition a little bit with helping out at our big silver mine ski jump here. So I started out skiing when I was about, say, 5 years old with ski jumping, and transitioned over to cross-country skiing at about 12 years old and have loved that ever since. Just a really gorgeous event, really cool event, goes back and trace our lineage back way to the Norwegians, because they're huge with the cross-country skiing. So it draws me back every year, and it really keeps me in touch with my heritage.
So talk to me a little bit about ski jumping, because I mean, if I had to choose between the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics, I just find the Winter Olympics so much more entertaining, if I can use the word. I love to watch ski jumping, and it simultaneously impresses me and excites me and scares the crap out of me. How do you get involved as a kid? Do you have the fear to start with, or because your grandpa and your dad had done it before, does it just come natural?
No, so that fear is why I transitioned over to cross-country skiing at about age 12. But when you're 5 or 6 or so, you don't quite have that. You don't quite have that fear, or you don't really understand it quite yet.
I can only imagine. Go ahead.
I started that when I was about 5 years old, and I think my parents just brought me out one day to the local ski jump, because there's not many in the country, but Eau Claire is lucky to have a junior facility there, so they have different size ski jumps. So those ski jumps you see on the during the Olympics just quite aren't as the ones we have now for kids aren't as big as those. You start off a lot smaller and a lot easier, and you kind of go from there over the years.
I mean, what is it like the first time the first time you go down that jump and you're literally flying? Is it simultaneously you're afraid but also super cool?
It's scary. Definitely the first time, at least for me, it was. Every time you progress to a larger hill, is always a terrifying event, because the track, I don't know if you noticed this, but the track is glare ice. It's not snow that you're going down. So you start off going down glare ice, and then usually you can't really see the middle part of the hill, so you're just kind of jumping blind into this thing. So really, it's truly a terrifying experience until you get comfortable. After about 2 or 3 rides, you get comfortable doing it. Then you start really trying to jump and get going for the distance.
Like I say, I look at those folks that do this. And I think, wow, that's just amazing. So you transition over to cross country skiing. How many Birkenbeiners have you participated in, Ryan?
So tomorrow will be number 4 for me. I did 3 Berkey Binders before this, and you have to be 18 to do it. So I think I would have had a couple more under my belt during my teenage years. But ended up doing the Quarter-Lopet, which is the half Berkey Binder from ages 13 to 17, which is going on today.
That's so cool. Yet last year was the first time I had been up here for it. And of course, last year was just kind of, different because of the lack of snow, the warmth. And so, of course, as you know, it didn't finish in Hayward. They had to do a loop up in Cable. But to be here this year for the first time and see it in its entirety and see the main street downtown, what is that like for you as a participant when there's for lack of a better term, a man-made or bridge that's built over one of the highways here that's covered in snow? You have to go up that hill, and then you get to go down it right into the main street. It's lined on either side of people ringing cowbells. What's that like for a participant to get to that ending line?
That is one of the most rewarding experiences that comes from the sport. And I think that's what keeps me coming back every year, is seeing all those people and knowing that, hey, I only have 100 meters left and I'm done. And everybody's going to cheer me on to the finish. Just truly amazing.
It just has to be. So as you're going through the course, is it like a marathon runner where they give you kind of water or anything along the way? It has to be hard to drink because you're skiing. I mean, is it or once you're set, you're going to go and you don't stop?
No, it's very similar to a marathon in that sense. I'd say about every 6 miles or so, they have a feed station for you, and at those stations they have water. They have bananas out. They have those goo energy gels for you. So they prepare you well, because going that distance without any fuel would be a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, it's just, and I know, I think last time I checked here, temperatures were around 10, 11 degrees. We're headed to around 17, I think, today. As a participant, we're talking to Ryan Kramer, one of the Birkenbinder participants and a first lieutenant in the United States Space Force. Ryan, as a participant, is there an ideal temperature or conditions you want as a racer?
I would say about 20 and sunny is perfect for cross-country skiing, in my opinion. It can get too cold. You get to the negatives a little bit, and that's no fun to be in. Get the wind blowing, no fun. And then you also don't want it too hot, because then you overheat. So I'd say 20 and sunny with the right gear, and you're perfect.
Well, it's going to be pretty close to that. I think tomorrow they're expecting highs somewhere in the low to mid 20s. And as far as I know, it's sunny or partly cloudy. It's a beautiful day right now here. Is pretty much what you just said. It's going to be close to 20 and sunny here. And it's beautiful to be out and walk around. We're going to take a quick break here. But when we come back, talk just a moment with Ryan Kramer here, one of the Birkenbinder participants this year in the 51st Annual American Birkenbinder presented by Slumberland. And talk to him a little bit about what led to his military service and how that translates over into conditioning for the Birkenbinder. Don't go anywhere. We are live from downtown Hayward at our studios at WBZH, the Buzz of the North, for the 51st Annual America Birkenbinder. It's the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. All right, very good. That's good. Nice first segment, and we'll bring him back. I'm not sure we'll do it. We'll just see how we go here. He may stay for the whole thing or not. We'll for sure wrap at 12:30, and then I think Brady's going to try joining via StreamYard on his phone. So he tested it, so he thought it worked. So we should be ready with that.
Did he test it? Because I didn't see him pop in here.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't pop in, but I guess he brought it up on his phone and everything. I just don't think he entered the waiting room per se.
Okay.
But it sounds like, let me just check here, double check 1 second. Should be good to go. Yes, Brady, if you're watching. Yeah, it's asking if he has a deer in the background. Of course. All right. Oh, he's listening. Very good. Yes, Brady is fine. See, these are the benefits of people that watch the Secret Show on the stream. In between when we're live on the air, you get to see what Sam and I, other people, talk about when we're not, on the broadcast air. So yes, Brady, we like he's a deer hunter. Of course, he can have the deer in the background. Anything else you want? So that's fantastic. Da, 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 da. Brady's watching on YouTube, and so can you, the home viewer, on Civic Media.
30 seconds.
Thank you.
Turkey fever, got me eager as a beaver, got me waiting for winter, got me praying for snow. Turkey fever, I'm a true believer, just get me to the start line, I'll be ready to go. Get me to the start line, I'll be ready to go.
Welcome back to Hayward, Wisconsin, downtown Hayward, Wisconsin. There you go. Got to have a little Berkey fever in you. We are here covering the 51st Annual American Birkebeiner presented by Slumberland. We'd also like to thank all of our key sponsors for our coverage, and not just today. If you really have the Berkey fever and want all of the information from the start in Cable to the finish in Hayward tomorrow, make sure you tune in to our sister station, the music station, which will have special coverage tomorrow. It's Muskie 101 FM. That's 101.1 FM, Muskie 101 FM. Gray and Big G, who is here yesterday with us, of course. Gray and Big G are going to have coverage all day tomorrow on Muskie 101.1 FM. They're also going to be here outside of our studios in downtown Hayward, have prizes for you to give away, so stop by and say hi to Gray and Big G. Great coverage continues tomorrow on Muskie 101 here in Hayward. And if you're not in Hayward, simply download the Civic Media app on your Apple or Android device and then scroll down to Muskie 101, and you can listen to the coverage on the Civic Media app for free. A big shout out to our keynote sponsor, Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill, located on True North Lane. Of course, had folks from Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill on yesterday. Joe there, the general manager, just really thanks to all of them. They do a great job. Also, Coop's Pizza, Lori's Card and Gifts, Pine Point Realty, and Lakewood Cafe. Thank you to all of those great folks, sponsors of our coverage here on the Civic Media Radio Network of the 51st Annual Birkebeiner. Joining us via phone once again, Ryan Kramer, originally from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and now a participant for the fourth year in the America Birkebeiner here in Hayward, Wisconsin, and also serves as a first lieutenant in the United States Space Force after graduating the Air Force Academy. Ryan, again, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your service. If you would, talk a little bit, in another life, I worked in a congressional office and helped with the academy choosing process. Talk to us a little bit about what led you to want to apply for the Air Force Academy and what it was like going through that process.
So military service is something that is pretty near and dear to my heart because my dad and both of my grandpas were in the service back in their days. So from an early age, I knew this is something that I wanted to do. So my dad being a Naval Academy graduate, class of 1985, I knew a little bit about the process, and he was able to walk me through it at an early age. We definitely left it up to me to go through that process and really navigate it myself, which is a really difficult thing to do for the Air Force Academy. You have to get a nomination from either a congressman or a senator from your state. You have to send in some pretty good SAT, ACT scores. You have to have a really good high school record. So a whole bunch of things that I had to navigate, and it helped me because I knew I wanted to do this probably in about 8th grade. So I was able to establish a plan moving forward through high school and how to get accepted into the academy.
Well, again, I admire you because having helped out with that process through our congressional office, I understand better than most what a competitive process that is. And for folks, it's not just academics; it's not just athletics. It's what you do in your community and your passion for this and serving your country. And it's only the best of the best that get taken and chosen for our U.S. service academies. What was it like through your process there? What are some of maybe the most challenging thing, but also the most rewarding thing about going through the Air Force Academy?
Going through it is quite a change in lifestyle, and they inflict that change on day one. If anybody's ever seen videos of day one of basic training for any military branch, but that was quite the wake-up call. Fresh of about a month after I graduated high school, went into that. I would say that is probably one of the largest struggles, just that absolute change in lifestyle. But I think the most rewarding part of that, though, at the end of it, 4 years later, because you go through basic training and you're doing military training concurrently with doing a very full college course load. But throwing your hat in the air at graduation is just the most rewarding thing, and knowing that you have a good future ahead of you, knowing that you've accomplished something, and you're ready to pretty much take on the world at that point.
Yeah. And now you're serving as a first lieutenant in the U.S. Space Force, our newest branch of military. This is going to sound like a stupid question, but I think a lot of people might ask it. Do you have to want to be an astronaut or actually go into space to work for the Space Force?
No, you do not. So what the Space Force is doing right now and the jobs that they have in it is nothing new, per se. All these jobs that are in the Space Force right now existed as part of the Air Force prior to it transitioning to its own branch in 2019.
All right, very good. So it's some of the work that was being done in the Air Force, now just under a different branch. Well, I still admire you and thank you to not just you, but everybody who serves in uniform. So was your conditioning going through basic training in the Air Force Academy? Has that served you well as you get ready to condition for the Birkebeiner tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. Air Force Academy is at a very high altitude compared to, I think we're about 1,000 feet here, AG over sea level. So it definitely helps going from altitude, working out at altitude, and doing a whole bunch of running, because the Air Force Academy loves to run, and transitioning that over to skiing, great for cardio.
Now, see, this is fantastic. I would think now you come in with a little bit of an edge over your Wisconsin-based competitors who are at the lower altitude. So I think the training, they say, what was it? Peyton Manning said being out there in Denver a long time, he thought that gave him an advantage. Do you feel like you have an advantage, Ryan, coming in tomorrow?
I really do, yes. And I think I credit this to something, because when I was a senior at the academy, I came back and did this race also. And that was the best I've ever felt going into it. The only thing that hurt were my feet, just from fatigue over the day. But lungs-wise, I felt fine. I felt like I could have done it again.
1 minute left here, Ryan. In the final minute, is there anything I have not asked you that you would like to share about your experience with the Birkebeiner?
No, I think I covered just about everything. It's a tremendous sport, and I recommend it to anybody who's listening. If you're near snow or near some trails, go out there. People love helping. People love teaching about how to cross-country ski and get into this new sport, because this is a great way to get some sunshine and get some fresh air and some cardio in the winter.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're going to be ringing our cowbell for you, Ryan Kramer. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking time. I know you're traveling back to Wisconsin. Thanks for carving out time for us and sharing your story. Really, really appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks for your service as well.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for having me on.
Our pleasure. Ryan Kramer, a Birkebeiner participant and a first lieutenant in the United States Space Force. You can see Ryan and everybody else race tomorrow right here in Hayward, and coverage on Muskie 101 here on the Civic Media Radio Network. Come on back. Brady Ewing on the other side. It's the Allbaugh Show from Hayward on the Civic Media Radio Network. Very good. He was awesome. That was great.
Brady's here.
Awesome. Look at that. Brady Ewing live and in person.
Nice.
It's official.
I love it. And the deer look great.
Yeah, I got a little stand for my phone now to do some of the videos I've been trying to do. So I got it set up on my phone, ready to go.
Brady Ewing getting it done. I love it.
Big tech guy.
1 second.
How's it going, Sam?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
How long you been with Civic for?
Probably around a year and a half. I'm just filling in for Aaron. I usually do another show.
Nice.
He does the morning show. He's a morning dude.
Up early.
Not by choice.
You're gunning for Zomer's spot or what? Take Todd's show over?
Nah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
No, he's going back to school. He's like you. He's a UW grad, and now he's going back to get his master's in history to be a teacher.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah.
Where are you going to get that done?
To Edgewood right now. It's actually just a certification program. I somehow managed to test out of all of the history credit that I needed.
Whoa! Look
So,
at Sam.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Humble brag.
Right? I managed to test out of it.
What could I say? I don't know.
Hey, if you got it, Sam.
Right?
I saw you repping the Wisconsin sweatshirt, so
Yeah.
I was excited to see that.
See, that's fantastic. Oh, let's find this. Sam, I'm going to send you. Oh, God, I hope this works. I was going to do this before. Sam loves to hear that.
You make it work.
All right, I just sent you a cut of Barry Alvarez. I think it's from Facebook, so I hope it works, but we'll see. Does it work all right? Can you hear it?
Yeah, I got it here.
All right, cool. So, well, how about we start there, Brady, with Alvarez's comments on the program and
Okay.
Fickle's extension, and then we talk basketball and deer hunting and whatever else you want.
Sounds good. I've enjoyed the shows where we kind of just have a conversation, freelance
Yeah.
it a little bit, and
Exactly. Oh, my
good
Bucky
stuff.
fell over. See, I've got Bucky with me.
I was watching on YouTube
Yeah,
as you mentioned, and I saw Bucky laying down in the corner down there.
Like, what? We got to put Bucky up where he belongs. Nobody puts Bucky in the corner.
Can't do that.
Aaron's got 2 clips of Springsteen by Eric Church here. One that starts at the chorus, one that starts at the beginning. Which one you want?
I'll do chorus, please.
Okay. One minute.
Thank you.
How'd you get connected with Ryan?
His mom and my sister know each other.
Nice.
So once again, Heather doing the booking. She deserves. I have to buy her a beverage next as on my way back down through Eau Claire.
Hooking you up.
Exactly.
$20 seconds.
Thank you.
When I think about you, I think about 17. I think about my old Jeep. I think about the stars in the sky. Funny how a melody sounds like a memory, like a soundtrack to a July Saturday night. Springsteen.
Welcome back to our special coverage here. We are live on location from Hayward, Wisconsin, and our beautiful studio is at WBZH, the Buzz of the North. We appreciate the sponsorship of Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill, located on True North Lane. Anytime you're up here in the Northwoods, stop on by Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill. They know how to do it. They had all kinds of big screens going last night for hockey. It was a great time had by all. Todd Allbaugh here in Hayward. Sam Davidson filling in for vacation. Aaron Zommers back at the world headquarters in Madison. And if it's Friday at 34 minutes past the hour, our favorite number 34, he was a three-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin football, captain of the team, and spent 3 years in the National Football League. He joins us via StreamYard from the old hometown in Richland Center, Mr. Brady Ewing. Brady, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, Todd. I was excited looking at the schedule this week, knowing we'd be able to get back together and chat a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And many thanks also to Ryan Kramer, Birkebeiner participant and first lieutenant in the United States Space Force. Boy, I mean, you listen to that guy. I mean, here's a guy who is a ski jumper as a kid, flying through the air. Then he goes through basic training, serving in the Space Force, and now, not running, but skiing Birkebeiners. I mean, and he's, in his 20s, for goodness sake. I mean, you look at people like that, and they're just inspiring.
Oh, for sure. I was enjoying listening to the show before we jumped on here, and people always like to draw parallels from athletes and football players to, military. I don't think there's any parallel there, and just the service that they provide and the training that they go through, both physically, mentally, to make sure that they can be their best is pretty darn cool. So it's nice to, hopefully, like I try to shed some spotlight into my sports experiences. It's really cool to see the behind the scenes and hear how they use that to prepare.
Yeah, no, I absolutely think you're right. And again, many thanks to Ryan, and good luck to him as he participates in the Birkebeiner tomorrow. Brady, have you ever? Are you a skier? Do you and your families? I don't know this about you. Do you ski it or not so much?
I've water skied a couple times, so very different than the Birkebeiner. Yes. But no, never snow skied. I guess I've used to snowboard a little bit just on the hills around Richland Center, so nothing even on a significant slope anywhere. So that's
you have four boys, as our listeners know. Any of them into skiing or asking about it?
They have. Bennett got some cross country skis a couple years ago, and has been using that more cross country style, but also downhill, just on the hills here around the house. And the other kids, they kind of fight over who's going to be using them when we go outside. So whether it's that or snowboards or sleds, we've had a lot of fun here the last couple weeks.
Now is the time, because we just had yesterday an entire family. The grandfather was 70, but I mean, honest to God, I'm not making this up. He was in better shape than I am at 55. So the grandfather, he'd been skiing for 30 Birkenbeiners. The only one he missed is when his son was born, and they named him Burke because of the Birkenbeiner. He's skied in it, and then he and his wife, they brought their 3 kids and their son Finn, who I'm going to guess is maybe 8, 9, 10 at the most. He won his division yesterday. So, I mean, these family, right? I mean, these family things where you could get the family involved, I just think it keeps us healthy mentally and physically, and not just to be sitting around looking at our screens all winter long, which, Todd is guilty of doing that.
Oh, I think we all are in the dog days of winter, but what a cool activity to get your family out. It probably brings them together, the history there, the tradition, just like we've talked about deer hunting and other traditions that, our family has passed down through generations. It sounds like that's the same type of thing, which is really, really cool. And they say, with kids learning ability, mentally and physically, that's the time to expose them to that stuff, whether it's downhill skiing, snowboarding, because they can pick it up like that, where if you and I tried to go pick it up, maybe not you, but I think me probably, I'd be falling all over the place.
No, you're a professional athlete. You could get that. Like I would just be sitting there looking like a goofball. But I think you're right. I mean, even Ryan was talking about that his grandpa and dad have been ski jumpers and went out at 5 or 6 and didn't really have that fear. But as you get older, you're like, wait a minute, I could get seriously injured here. And so you're right. I mean, it's just amazing how much kids, when they don't have so much fear or self-awareness, they can just go out and do it. And it's just, in a way, right? It's almost sad that we lose that as we get to be adults.
It is a little bit. Yeah. You start thinking about all the possibilities, the things that could go wrong, the failure, being embarrassed. I know I've experienced that across a bunch of different things in the past. So yeah, kids have the ability to just be, kind of approach it for what it is, try to make the most of it, and continue to learn and grow from it. I think that we can all learn from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's turn our attention, of course, as we said, three-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin Badgers, served as a captain your senior year after starting as a walk-on. In my opinion, I'm not just saying this because I know you, I think it's one of the best sports stories in modern Wisconsin football history just because of your journey, maybe only surpassed by Jimmy Leonard, who is also a fellow walk-on and then ended up coming back as the defensive coordinator and interim head coach. But I just love the story. And then spent 3 years in the NFL. I want to play a clip for you of former head coach and athletic director Barry Alvarez, who appeared on ESPN Madison radio program. Barry, not holding a lot back. Here are his thoughts on the current state of football at Wisconsin.
I want to answer that. I want to answer this spring practice is important because after having a losing season, there has to be a pride in this team that they want to come back and bounce back and be relevant again. And I don't like it. Nobody likes. I mean, we went a long time. We worked our fannies off to start winning, win championships, and be good, and go to bowl games every year. And damn it, we did it better than everybody for 20 some years, after not going for like a million years. And so now these guys have to fight their ass off to get back into that groove. And I hope that they understand that. They've got a responsibility. I don't like where we are right now. They need to bounce back and put this program back where it belongs.
Former head coach and athletic director of the University of Wisconsin, Barry Alvarez, there appearing on ESPN Madison. Brady, as an alum, I mean, Barry got a little bit of heat. Some people thought he was being critical of current head coach Luke Fickell. Other people just said, look, he just has passion for the team and what he helped build there, along with guys like you. What's your take on Coach Alvarez's comments?
I would say I relate to what he's saying. I mean, you hear you talk about a guy, he came in and took the head coaching job at Wisconsin with a program that historically hadn't had a ton of success. And to see how quickly he turned around the culture and the identity of what he wanted Wisconsin football to be based on his history that he had seen be successful, to come in and basically do a 180 on that, going to the Rose Bowl a couple years later, and then continuing to uphold that level of consistent success year in and year out, whether it was him or as he passed on that torch to others and as an AD. That's pretty darn special in and of itself. Now, we've had a little bit of a blip here, and I think that's where you hear, Barry's frustration come out of, hey, we worked so hard to uphold that. And it's a yearly, monthly, daily battle to be successful in whatever you do, whether it's football or business, life, whatever. I mean, it's literally a daily battle of doing the right things. And I think that's where I probably sense a little frustration in his voice, just the state of college athletics in general too. Mm-hmm. And, the timing of when he got out of there. So I'm sure it's probably both, but at the end of the day, he wants to see Wisconsin successful for all the right reasons. He wants to see, I'm sure, McIntosh and Luke Fickell and all of those people be successful. It's just...
Well, let me follow up on that, because you said something about being whatever your words were, driven in or talked about daily. When you were a player, Brady, for 4 years, and of course you were around Coach Alvarez, you were coached by Coach Bielema during your time there as head coach, but you were also around Coach Christ. Coach Leonard. What was this something? This hey, this is special. We didn't get here just because we showed up. And each and every one of you has to continue working your butts off to keep. Was that driven in by all those coaches I mentioned? And do you think it lacks that now?
It wasn't incredibly intentional where they had to say like, hey, here's the expectations, here's what we're going to hit. It was, that's kind of where I was getting to earlier. I think it was just understood. Like when you came to Wisconsin, you knew what you were getting into at that time. You were coming to an organization that was going to focus on the run, focus on being physical, was going to develop you. And so I think, like I said, I think it's two factors. I think it's the philosophy, the identity, the culture, and then it's just, hey, we're going to have to adjust with college sports in general nowadays. But it was
So do
more
you
of a
think?
daily action and a daily pursuit, whether that's in the weight room in the off season,
Mhm.
on the practice field, in the athletic training room. It was a pursuit of excellence in everything we did
Was
and
that
mental
driven at all
toughness.
by guys? What your upperclassmen? Was that something that was handed down? That expectation? And do you think that the current transfer portal and the NIL deals, I mean, the turnover right now, is that
Mhm.
part of the lackingness of passing that stuff down?
Really good point. I do think that is something that is best led by the team. And I thought Wisconsin did a really good job of that. Now, with all of the transactions going on, all the movement going on in Division One athletics, it's probably going to have to fall more on the coaching staff and the support staff to reinforce that, to set expectations, and to kind of be the guiding light for everybody on what direction they're going, why, and what that's going to look like with the evolving open door of the transfer portal and the challenges that NIL brings.
Yeah. Talking to Brady Ewing, three-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin football, former captain of the team, and spent 3 years in the NFL. Brady, you and your brother Brandon and I, a little group texting when it was revealed that head coach Luke Fickell, current coach at Wisconsin, got a year extension, and where I think we're all a little bit, what? As it turns out, this is just kind of the course of matter, that it was the automatic 1 year extension that I think that unless a head coach at whatever sport is on the verge of being let go, it's just something that is automatically done from what I've read and heard about it. But I think with a lot of fans, it was kind of like, so you finish 5-7, you break a 23-year bowl streak, and you get rewarded. I mean, most of us, Brady, unless we're television meteorologists, we got to be right more than 50% of the time.
Yeah, right. It's yeah. Before we kind of jump to some conclusions initially before we kind of understood the big picture. But I get some of the formality of it. But coming off a tough season, I think that was Fickle's third season, right?
Right.
And having him,
Well, second.
kind of
Second. This will be
second
a third
season,
season. Yeah.
underperform expectations. And, you want to see that success, just like anything. To earn the right to advance, you got to perform now. And so, yeah, that's where some of the questions I had is like, wow, that's pretty surprising to see that extension come out now. Kelly Sheffield and others, it's like, absolutely, they're doing great things and having success.
About a minute or so before the first break here, before the break, Brady. We'll get more into this as spring practice evolves for Wisconsin football. But Wisconsin has to play Alabama again this year, Oregon, I think Ohio State. What's your initial sense, Brady? I mean, can this team with a new offensive coordinator can they take a true step forward this year?
I sure hope so. I mean, anytime there's changeover in coaches, that slows the development process, let alone bringing in an additional 20 plus people from the transfer portal. So again, I think it heightens the sense of awareness around what is your identity, what's the culture look like within that team. And to Coach Alvarez's point, spring practices are such a huge part of that. And previously, I would say bowl practices were such a big part of that because you get a chance to get X amount of practices leading into a bowl game where you can develop those young guys, set the culture and the expectations for going forward. And, they missed out on that opportunity too.
I think it's a great point. That I think that we as fans underestimate the value of those practices to the bowl game. For us, it's just like, hey, we get to go somewhere warm, hopefully, not the Pinstripe Bowl. But for you guys, for players and coaches, that's real work. That's real evaluation that you don't get to have.
100%.
All right, well, come on back. We are live in Hayward, Wisconsin. Brady is in Southwest Wisconsin. We're going to come back, talk about Greg Gard being on the Naismith Basketball Coaches Player or Coach of the Year watch list. Come on back to Hayward after this. And if I could talk on the way out, that'd be even better.
I didn't even notice.
I was just stumbling around there. It wasn't quite as smooth as I would have liked to have had, but oh well.
Yeah, it was
Some
always
days-
interesting that Bielema, I mean, that's what, of course, it's the bowl game, it's the celebration of the season.
Right.
And of course, hopefully you're going somewhere warm, like you said, and you can enjoy that experience a little bit more. But at the time, like that's was a huge part of it, was just the practices, the ability to continue to develop young guys, try them at different positions, because they give a lot of the juniors and seniors some time to recover from the season that have been playing. And that's really your time as a young guy to showcase. And that's when I moved to fullback initially.
Really?
After
I didn't know
after
that.
my freshman year was
Yeah.
right in that bowl prep. They started talking about it, threw me in a few times, and then that kind of catapulted the decision going forward.
No, I didn't know that. Wow, that's interesting. That was your kind of your big opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Let
maybe. It worked out pretty well, Brady.
it did, yes, it did work out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I only ended up being one of the most successful fullbacks in Wisconsin football history. Went to the NFL. I guess it worked out okay.
It worked out all right.
Understated, the very definition.
Yeah, it is great. You just think back and think of how small those moments feel, but yet
Yeah.
how it can change a trajectory of years and years and years of your life. It's kind of
What was
humbling
what,
when you think about that.
what was your first big play on the team? Do you remember? At any
So,
position, doing anything? Because
yeah, so
I know what mine was for you, but what was yours?
20 seconds.
Oh, well,
in a game.
I'll ask it when I come back. Yeah.
All right, that works.
When I think about you, I think about 17. I think about my OG. I think about the stars in the sky. Funny how a melody sounds like a memory, like a soundtrack to a July Saturday night. Springsteen.
Make sure you have a little Springsteen or whoever on your radio as you drive around in the North Woods. But stop if you're in the area, stop in. You understand? We are here live in downtown Hayward in the beautiful studios of WBZH. The Buzz of the North, and our sister station plays a lot of country music. Muskie 101.1 FM. You can hear more Birkenbinder coverage with Big G and Gray tomorrow on Muskie 101. We thank our key sponsor for this week, Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill, located on True North Lane. They do a great job up here. Brady Ewing, a three-time Big Ten champion, former captain of the Badger football team, and 3 years of the NFL, joins us via StreamYard from our mutual hometown of Richland Center, Wisconsin. A couple of texts here, Brady. Let's see here. We have Andrew in Maine listening on WAUK. We were talking about whether Brady and I should take up cross country skiing. Says the kids could pick up skiing while Todd would have to be picked up. Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. Patrick, listening on WMDX in Madison, Patrick in the 608, says, let's be honest here, football in the NCAA has drastically changed for the worse, in his opinion, just in the last few years. For Alvarez to not recognize this in his remarks is tone deaf. We played comments of former head football coach Barry Alvarez saying he's not happy with where the team is right now. I don't know if he didn't recognize it, Brady. I think maybe the fact that he does recognize it is part of his frustration. Agree or disagree?
I agree. I think that is just an understood thing that he didn't necessarily call out in that statement. But not only does I think it makes his point as far as the identity, resetting the culture and the direction they're going forward of winning and reestablishing that, it makes that much more important. Again, that's my opinion, but I think Barry understands the changing landscape and probably happy he got out when he did, given all that.
Right.
my opinion.
Troy, our good friend Troy, a longtime listener in Mount Horeb, listening on WMDX, asks, how much does it factor into, this is to Brady, how much does it factor into how these last two seasons went that Wisconsin lost their preferred QB both years?
That is big. I mean, losing a quarterback, you look at the year that Russell Wilson came in, I would say that was somewhat of a parallel to what you see nowadays in college athletics at a lot of programs with quarterbacks. And to lose that guy that had been counted on all offseason, that you repped plays with, that was leading and commanding the huddle, that does make a difference. Now, historically, I would say you have that development program at Wisconsin where you can backfill and people understand and know that person. But
Yeah.
nowadays they're bringing in 3, 4 different quarterbacks each year, especially with turnover in the offensive coordinators. Where again, if that one guy goes down that you're trying to get up to speed to be the guy, it makes it that much more difficult to backfill.
Quick note, Troy, of course, was our big winner for our Just a Bit Outside, the story of the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers World Premiere contest, which we were at down at Waukesha last fall. Big news, Brady. Our friends Kelly Call and Sean Hanish, the producer and producer director, respectively, of Just a Bit Outside, the story of the 82 Brewers. Guess what, folks? You can now buy it on DVD at Amazon. It's currently the #1 movie seller on Amazon on DVD purchases. So it's exciting. Of course, the Brewers have their first spring training game. Going to be very different without Uke this year, of course. You can hear those games on select stations across the Civic Media Radio Network, including Brady and I's home station of WRCE in Richland Center. But boy, Brady, it's going to seem weird without Uke this year. 90 great years, but fantastic that you could get back in that World Series spirit by catching Just a Bit Outside, the movie, now on DVD at Amazon. I am going to be ordering mine today before I leave Hayward.
Love it. Yeah, I got to check it out. I know we had talked about that when you were doing some more coverage around it, and it sounds like a really cool production.
Yeah, I think your kids will love it too. I know how much they love baseball and Brewers baseball, so I invite people to check it out. Really quickly, Brady, we talked about this in the break. What was your first big memory of a play your first play where you're like, wow, I'm on the frickin' University of Wisconsin football team and I made a legit play?
It would be, I would say, my freshman year. So came into fall camp. I was a walk-on running back, and there was either 1 or 2 other scholarship running backs that year. I think 1 fullback and 1 running back scholarship guy. And so I was trying to learn the playbook, trying to get up to speed. And anytime I got an opportunity to get in there, one of the requirements of the running back was if we were running from a certain yard line was to finish down the field. I think it was roughly 40 or 50 yards. One, to just work on running out of tackles and finishing the play, but also to get your conditioning up leading into the season. And at one point, I think I caught, or I was running a ball and got thudded up to get tackled. And I dislocated my finger and fell to the ground. The trainers came out, put it back in place, and I got up with the ball and I ran through 40-yard line. And that got some oohs and ahs and got a shout out after practice. So that's probably one of the more memorable, but yeah, that freshman year, I don't think I dropped the ball all fall camp.
That's awesome.
Any of the game type situations. So that was something that I know Coach Bielema gave me a shout out multiple times. And as a freshman, that was pretty cool. And I think helped set the stage for the future of my involvement in helping the program.
I don't remember what year it was. It was either freshman or sophomore year. You were on special teams for a while as well, and you caught a punt or a kick, and you ran. I don't think you scored the touchdown, but I think it was like a 30 or 40. It was a huge run in that. And my sister and I went to that game, and we were in the end zone, and we both looked at each other and just both started crying uncontrollably. Because we were very proud of you. We were very proud of you.
Probably against Fresno State, probably.
I think that it probably was, yeah. Brady, always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. We'll talk Greg Gard basketball next time. We'll see you in the RC soon. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much, Brady.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Sam. See ya.
Our pleasure. Brady Ewing always joins us every other Friday. Appreciate him. Come on back a little. What's worse, mittens or gloves? On the other side, as well as Chris Pauls, another Richland Center native, talking about a little week in review. It's this hour number 2 of the Allbaugh Show from Hayward on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Springsteen.
All right, we're clear. You're amazing, Brady. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll see you. I'll text you a little bit later, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Sam.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, see, that's what you want right there, Sam. That's fantastic.
What's that?
Just a great guest. I mean, just a great hour.
Yeah.
Just a lot of fun.
Right you are.
A great producer. What more do we want? Come on now.
Thanks.
I'm going to step away for a minute. I'll be back.
All right.
A little Berkey fever. Mm-hmm.
30 seconds.
Thank you. Do we have? Did Sean happen to call in or no?
No.
That's fine. He may or may not. So, like I say, just give me a heads up if he does,
Yeah,
please.
I'll keep it
Thank you.
on. Here we go.
Live on location, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Todd Allbaugh, live on location in Hayward, Wisconsin at the beautiful studios of WBZH here. We have a phone call, actually. I thought we silenced the phone. That's on me. Welcome back to the show. You know it's live when we're getting phone calls on the air. Here in Hayward, thanks to everybody up here, including Big G, Darla, and Greg for helping us out, making us feel so much like home here in northern Wisconsin for the 51st Annual American Birkenbeiner. Back home at the world headquarters, downtown Madison, Wisconsin, Mr. Sam Davison filling in on the board, our producer engineer for vacationing, Mr. Zommers. It is the 21st day at TGIF Friday of February 2025. A great day to be Wisconsinite. Sam, always good to be along with you. Thanks for filling in today, my friend.
Glad to be here.
It's is it sunny down back in Madison?
It is. It is warming up the studio. I've got all the blinds
Really?
closed right now to try and keep it cool.
I know, right? Well, any big plans? Now I know, it's supposed to warm up. Brittany Merlot and our great weather team says it's going to get into the 40s in some places. Maybe not
Yeah,
up here in the North Woods, but down in South Central, Southern Wisconsin, maybe temperatures in 40 degrees. Now this is great because it's going to have snow, but also it's going to be pretty warm. That's ideal weather to get outside in the winter.
Exactly. Maybe I'll make a snowman. The snow will get all nice and packy.
Right? How about that?
Yeah.
Or a snowball fight? Did you ever? Now
Yeah.
at Wisconsin, you're a graduate of the University of Wisconsin Madison. I think they just got done with it a couple of weeks ago. But the big snowball fight on Bascom Hill. Did you ever
Yeah.
participate in that?
I did not participate. I saw the pictures from this year though. It looked like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know people just kind of go out there and have a good time. Occasionally, a little bloody injury on an ice ball or something like that. But usually people have sufficiently, shall we say, imbibed, so they probably don't feel it too much before the snowball fight.
Exactly.
Well, great to have you along, Sam. Thank you so much for being here and filling in. Zommers will be back next Monday. Speaking of next Monday, by the way, our good friend and ongoing contributor, Matt Flynn, two-time chair of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, an attorney, and also a veteran as well, is going to be on the program on Monday. And I think we haven't had Matt on for a little while now. And I think this is ideal time because Matt knows history like almost nobody else. And I think with everything happening right now overseas in Ukraine and other places, and also in terms of what's happening in terms of the law, going to be a great opportunity for Matt, as he does so well, like nobody else could put it down. I love this phrase because it is exactly what Matt does from Judge Weissman. Put it down there where the chickens could get at it. Because I think a lot of this stuff for a lot of us is confusing, but Matt can put it into the vernacular we all understand. So join us on Monday in hour number 1. Matt Flynn will be here with me and breaking down all of the news. And, it's only Friday, so we have no idea what could happen by Monday these days. It could be a whole news cycle. So Matt will be here on Monday. Hope you join us for that. Coming up at the bottom of this hour, a lot of people. Once again, Sam, you have stayed there. You're helping me out. Zommers is off today. Peter Rapine, who is normally in with Week in Review, he's under the weather. So our old friend Chris Pauls is going to be along, and he'll be here filling in for Peter. And CP will have ebombsworld.com, the Week in Review. Now, this is wild and wacky stuff, as Johnny Carson used to say. These are not made-up headlines. These are actual things that actually stupid human beings have done. And so we'll break. I have the partial list here right now. We have a story on sex in Pennsylvania, which is always fun. I've never had sex in Pennsylvania, but I'm sure it's great. A dry ice gender reveal, that'll be great. And a weed farm that burned. So that's just a sampler of the stories that are coming up at the bottom of the hour. So looking forward to nervous anticipation of that, Sam.
Looking
Should be
forward
fun.
to it. It's
Just wacky stuff that real humans have done.
You looped me in on some of the headlines that you were going to talk about before the show, and I was looking at them. I'm not going to spoil them for you, but
All right.
they're pretty good stuff.
All right, very good. Looking forward to that. Again, we are here on location, and many thanks to Ryan Kramer in hour 1, a Birkenbeiner participant. This is going to be his 4th Birkenbeiner. It was great hearing from a person who's actually raced in the race and will be racing in it tomorrow. He is also a first lieutenant in the United States Space Force, so glad that he joined us on the program. And when you listen to these participants, again, we were here yesterday. We were outside. The only reason we moved inside today, not because it was any cooler. Actually, it's a little warmer today. But just because most of the action, the participation today is at Cable at the start of the race today. And then tomorrow is the big premier race, the Slumberland American Birkebeiner. Start times range from 8:15 in the morning until 10:10. It takes basically 2 hours to get everybody started and on their way because this is such a big event. And, of course, it finishes up a half a block from where we are right now in downtown Hayward, Wisconsin. If you're in the area, even if you have to drive a little while, I promise you, it'll be worth the drive. People up here are so friendly. There's all kinds of awesome places to eat, to drink, to hang out. There's candy stores up here. There's fudge stores here in downtown Hayward. It's really a great family event, so I encourage you to come up. Bring a cowbell if you have one. That's the big thing, to ring cowbells up here as people finish up the last 100 meters or so of this America Birkebeiner. It really is something to experience, and invite you to all come up and do that. Big shout out to our keynote sponsor here at Civic Media this week for our coverage, to Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill, located on True North Lane. Had Joe and Miranda on yesterday from Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill. Just great folks. They're going to take care of you. Great customer service. They have the big screens last night. Sam, are you a hockey fan? Did you watch the big USA-Canada hockey game last night?
I wish I knew that it was going on. I'm not a big sports person, but I somehow was living under a rock and didn't even hear about it until after it was done. And one of my friends said, this must have been what it was like to be alive during the 1980 Olympics when the USA beat Russia.
A little bit. I'm old enough to remember that game. And in the 1984 Lake Placid Olympics, when the United States beat then the USSR, the Soviet Union, in those semifinals, and they went on to win the gold medal. I think it was similar maybe to last night, but other than certain people in the Trump administration, I don't think there's quite the hatred for the Canadians that there was at the time in 1984 for the Soviet Union. And also, the Soviet Union had just been an absolute powerhouse in those Olympiads for so many years. And for the United States, who, remember at the time, the professional players were not allowed to participate in the Olympics in '84. So these were just kids from the like Mark Johnson, just kids from the University of Wisconsin and other hockey powerhouses that were playing and knocked off these professional guys in the USSR. That's what really made it, I think, so special for those of us who were alive in '84. Yeah, but last night I was at, like I say, at the Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill. It was on everywhere, and boy, that was all people were talking about on the streets yesterday leading up to it. Places were packed up here in Hayward, and of course, Canada in overtime last night beat the USA 3-2. But wow, I'm more of a college hockey guy, but boy, what a hockey match last night, the USA and Canada. So just one of the, hockey, one of those things that makes Wisconsin great, right? A lot of fun, definitely. So anyway, I'm not sure what led me down that tangent, Sam. I forget, but anyway, well, we're going to talk at the bottom of the hour to our friend Chris Pauls, who is in with, I guess, something. Real things that people do. Of course, hockey is one of them, but these stories at the bottom of the hour, more weird and wacky stuff, as they say. All right. I guess we were talking about the what people were doing at the Birkebeiner, so and our great sponsors there. So which we really appreciate. Among other sponsors, Coop's Pizza, Lori's Cards and Gifts, Pine Point Realty, and Lakewood Cafe, and of course our keynote, Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill, located on True North Lane. We thank all of them. And again, the Birkebeiner, the big race, gets underway at 8:15 tomorrow and finishes up in downtown Hayward. You can listen to our coverage tomorrow on Muskie 101.1 FM, our sister station here in Hayward. You could also listen to it for free via the Civic Media app. Here's a little factoid for you. An estimated 82 plus dump trucks, loads of snow, are used to cover the main street just a half a block from me. 82 dump trucks. And I saw them yesterday. They were bringing in some fresh snow for certain places, but it's the equipment up here is remarkable, the winter equipment on the streets. All right, to 16 past the hour of 1 o'clock. Time once again for What's Worse. Here we go.
The choice is yours. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Time once again for What's Worse. No prize money to give away, nothing to give you in terms of money or prize, but your chance to have your voice heard all across the state of Wisconsin. And really, when it comes down to it, Sam, what price can you put on that to blow off a little steam all across Wisconsin on all 11 News Talk sports stations, right?
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to let it out.
That's right. Exactly. So I have props here for those watching on the stream. Here are Todd's Packer gloves, and here are my LL Bean parka, whatever, mittens. I have mittens and gloves. So here we go. What's worse now? What's worse, mittens or gloves? Mittens or glove? Timely indeed, as Mike Lucas says, because for those watching the Birkenbeiner, you're going to want one or the other. What's worse, mittens or gloves? 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. You can also text us the answer on the Civic Media app if you don't have it. Download it for free at your Apple or Android device. Type in Civic, C-I-V-I-C, Media. It'll pop up, and you can text us on the first 11 stations. What's worse, mittens or gloves? And I know I go to this a lot, but for me, Sam, it depends.
It does depend. Usually, for me, I like mittens because I get cold hands real easy. My fingertips get real cold, so I usually use mittens, but...
Are you a
Gloves
poor
have
circulation kind of guy? Do you have problems with circulation?
My fingers and my toes, they
Really?
always are the first thing to get cold.
All right. Rings on his fingers and bells on his toes. That's Sam Davidson wherever he goes. All right. We'll come back and get your answers to what's worse on the other side. Our live coverage of the American Birkenbeiner in Hayward continues on the Civic Media Radio Network. All righty. What's worse? Somebody says, Len, cold coffee or warm beer? Warm beer. Not even close. That's pretty good, though.
CJ was on the line and wouldn't connect for whatever reason. I was trying to see.
If he wants to, we'll take him if he wants to play. If he wants to play along.
Yeah.
And you could put. If we have callers, you can put them in the StreamYard chat. Again, I might have to get up to actually see it, but at least I'll see something there.
Hi, CJ. Hey, what do you want to talk to Todd about? Okay. Yeah. I'll hang on the line. We'll take your question.
And welcome back to downtown Hayward, Wisconsin. Todd Allbaugh Show live on location for the 51st Annual American Birkenbeiner. Pleased to have you along here from our great studios at WBZH, the Buzz of the North here in Hayward, Wisconsin. Check them out. Just a great station, AM 910 and FM 96.9. Also our sister station up here, Muskie 101. Great country music. You can listen to both of those stations live on the Civic Media app, where we are taking your opinions right now, your phone calls as well, right in the middle of today's What's Worse? What's worse, mittens or gloves? Mittens or gloves? Give us a call, 855-752-4842. Len off the text line in Madison, WMDX, says, what's worse, cold coffee or warm beer? Now, you've given us a Kobayashi Maru, Len. You've changed the parameters of the test. But I'll answer it. Not even close. Warm beer. Worse than cold coffee. Sam, any thoughts on that one?
I mean, they're both not good, but I think I gotta agree with you.
Yeah. I just no warm beer. It ain't happening. Skunky beer, not happening. What's worse though for today? Mittens or gloves? Mittens or gloves? Matt in Middleton, listening on MDX, says gloves for the driver and mittens for the passenger, as mittens are useless unless you're just sitting there or walking. So I'll keep the gloves as I like to drive. Now that's a practical answer, Sam. I mean I like that.
I agree. Yeah.
Linda in Middleton, listening on MDX, says mittens when it's really cold are better. Gloves are better for driving. However, oh, this is great. I have convertible mittens that are great. Have you seen those, Sam, where the end comes off and then your fingers can kind of dance around?
I have. My mom has a pair of those. She loves
Really?
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they're pretty good. Len Madison again says, if warmth is the only issue, gloves are usually worse than mittens in keeping your fingers warm, though mittens are worse if you need the dexterity use of your fingers. All right, there you go. 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. CJ from Stoughton on the line. CJ, thanks for calling. What's worse, mittens or gloves?
Well, cold hands are worse. So I like those convertible ones too.
Have you used those before?
You know, thanks for taking my call, Todd. I know we usually discuss politics, but the Telemark Lodge, is that, I question about the Birkenbeiner, is the Telemark Lodge still operational?
Yes. Yeah.
It used
No,
to be
great.
a beautiful ski resort.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the call and appreciate you keeping it on point here with the Birkenbeiner. What? What did you say?
I have another question.
Okay. The telemark is still a thing up here, and an important part of it. So yeah, skiing and everything up here in this part of the woods, and so yeah, absolutely, it's a huge part of the Birkenbeiner.
Well, I know the Norwegian dancers used to get invited and perform in the lobby of that beautiful lodge every year. And I'm
really?
just curious maybe if that still happens, because that was, yeah, they got to be a big part of that for years and years. Which
I've never asked you
quite
this,
amazing.
CJ. Are you a native of Stoughton? Is that where you grew up?
My parents moved from the east side of Madison when I was 5.
Oh,
and
wow.
took my brothers and sisters, and they had to take me with. I was 5. Yeah,
They
but
had
I
to
did
take you
grow
with.
up in Stoughton.
But I mean, it's another. I mean, there's so much Scandinavian heritage all across Wisconsin. Whether it's Stoughton, whether it's Westby in Southwest Wisconsin, up here in Hayward. I mean, you know, you can go all around the state, and I think somebody knows somebody in their family who's Norwegian or Swiss or what have you. And so yeah, Stoughton, the dancers there. You have the beautiful art center there, the Performing Arts Center. Lots of great heritage there in Stoughton as well, right?
Yeah, very much. Sitting in my parade, which celebrates Norway's Independence Day of the 17th of May, is what it stands for. But yeah, it really is. There's some great ambassadors. They have sister cities in Norway, and a lot of Scandinavian people certainly migrated to that area and community.
Yeah.
You'd swear I looked like them when I had hair, but I think,
well, you and me both, my friend. I don't have a whole lot of hair left either, but those things happen. Great call, CJ. Appreciate you bringing that up. And yeah, have a great weekend. All right. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Just a couple of minutes left for you to weigh in on today's What's Worse, mittens or gloves? Mittens or gloves? 855-752-4842. Do we get your final answer, Sam, on that? What do you think?
I think gloves are worse because mittens. Like I've got my mittens here.
Oh, look! See, you have some really nice mittens.
Yeah, they're made out
Are those
of
leather? Oh
Yeah,
my gosh!
you can fit a hand warmer in them and warm all your fingers at once, which is really nice. But if for whatever reason, if the studio ever were to get to like 20 degrees, I wouldn't be able to do my job because I have to press a lot of buttons, and I can't do that.
You'd be like a Muppet or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I have both, and I mean, I agree with most of our callers and texters. I think. I mean, I love these really heavy duty mittens. If I'm gonna go like for a hike out at Picnic Point or at Governor Dodge, or a winter, I love winter hikes. And so, but if you're just gonna be hiking, I like the mittens. But yeah, if I'm gonna be driving and now, see, Sam, now these Packer ones I got up at Lambeau, they have the little material on the end, so you can actually like text with.
Oh,
these
you can
things.
use a smartphone with them. That's
Yeah.
pretty slick.
Which, I mean, again, you should just be out enjoying. I should be out enjoying nature, not worried about my phone. But it's nice. Like yesterday, we were outside, and you have to broadcast. You want to do a couple of things. I agree with the dexterity part of gloves. So, I guess that's why those of us in Wisconsin try to use both, right? Here, a listener at WRCE in Richland Center says kitten mittens are the best. Now, you're a young person, Sam. Kitten mittens, have you heard of those?
I sure wish I have heard of them. I have not.
All right, well, if anybody knows what kitten mittens are, text us in and explain. So that'll be great. All right, I guess that wraps it up. So I think the winner today, or the loser, is that gloves or mittens. Mittens are worse overall, if you want to do anything besides walk around. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate everybody participated. Come on back. We're live in Hayward for the Birkenbeiner, a special edition of What's Worse with our friend CP. Chris Pauls on the other side is the Todd Allbaugh Show from Hayward on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Very dramatic. Hello.
If we know anything about CP, he loves pomp and circumstance and dramatics. No, not really.
Sorry for that. What's worse, guys? Not one of my more inspired efforts, but
No, it got some traction. It got engagement.
like my friend Janet Ginsburg says, not every party's a rager, boys.
I also went to it a little late because I was going through all this stuff I got to go through for our special up here. So, I could have gone to it earlier too.
What's the special?
Fried chicken today, as a matter of fact. We're here for the Birkenbeiner, CP.
That I knew, but I thought you meant like a special show.
No. Well, I mean, we have sponsors I'm mentioning to make sure they get their money's worth and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, great.
Right?
How's the whole thing going?
It's great. It's awesome. Yesterday we were right outside. We did the thing from the back of my truck so people could see skiers in the background. We talked to a family, 3 generations of skiers. That was fun. So,
cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We moved inside today just because most of the stuff today is up in cable, so there wasn't really that much to see or whatever behind us today.
Yeah, Ray Pine got on with me this morning. He's like, man, I don't know.
The poor guy.
I sent him home from the office. He showed up for editorial scrum in the morning. I'm like, what are you even doing?
Right?
Sam, hello. I don't know that I've met you before. I'm
Hello.
CP, Chris. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Hanging out with us.
Sam is one of our great producers. Graduate of UW-Madison. Getting her
Hell
done.
yeah.
Yeah.
CP, do you know what kitten mittens are?
Nope. Zero
Where did you
idea.
hear-
I am
where did you hear
assuming that
about
it
these?
involves kittens.
Oh, it's something from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I did not know that.
I should know that.
our entertainment guy.
I gotta say, I haven't been up on Sunny for the last few seasons. I felt it was a little subpar.
I think that's fantastic.
I mean,
think it's a little subpar, he says.
It is subpar. Like when all these people start getting veneers, it's like your show's over. I'm supposed to believe now that you were on a bar in Philadelphia? No.
See, this is why I like our meetings, Sam, because it's a hard sell. He doesn't just give you a pass like, sure, that's great. No. it's like, do you really want to do that? Nah, we're not doing that.
Oh, you think I'm surly now? Give me about a minute and a half here.
Yes.
It's the end of the week, Todd. You know me. By 2:00 on a Friday, I'm just looking for a soft place to land.
And I'm too far away to meet you at Pasquale, so I guess.
I'm on the wagon for a month.
Good for you.
Yeah, Jamaica does that, man. I get on there for a week. I'm like, oh boy, I gotta get the train back on the tracks here.
That's great.
Pretty good ones today.
Yeah, now here's I have the first 6 on my card because I'm away from my computer, which is also my monitor, so I can't interact too much. So I've got
cool.
so yeah, if you kind of go to whatever order you want, and we'll just have fun.
Sure. So Todd, you want to say that like in a couple weeks I'll be back with a major announcement?
Sure.
I figured we do that, and I'm a big fan of putting goalposts out.
Yeah.
Like the kind you can't avoid, like when you say something to the entire audience. And then maybe like if you're back, maybe we could have brunch on Sunday. I'm going to be ahead enough on what's worse that I'm going to spend some time tomorrow morning and Sunday morning, like outlining kind of all I want to do with that.
Yep.
And maybe we can get it together.
Yeah, that sounds great. 15 seconds. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the clubhouse here. It's the Todd Allbaugh Show live from Hayward, Wisconsin. That's our Olympic Birkebeiner music there, as we are live in Hayward for the 51st Annual American Birkebeiner. We are downtown Hayward, Wisconsin, just a half a block off of Main Street, where tomorrow the finish line will take place for thousands of people here in Hayward for the Birkebeiner. Starts out up by Cable and then advances down and finishes right behind us. We are in the studios of WBZH, our affiliate station here, not affiliate, but our news talk station in the North Woods. And looking forward to all that coverage. You can also catch coverage tomorrow on Muskie 101 FM. That's normally our country music station. Big G and Gray are going to have coverage all day tomorrow. You can also stop by the studios here in downtown Hayward at WBZH. Great prizes and fun by all. We appreciate everybody up here for making us feel welcome. It is a wonderful event, and hopefully each and every one of you gets up here and enjoys it very, very soon. One final shout out to our great sponsor this week, Big Fish Golf and Die Hard Sports Bar and Grill, located on True North Lane, helping make all this coverage possible for us here at Civic Media. All right, time once again at 1:35. For another edition of Week in Review, real, actual, goofy things that goofy humans do. Normally, our friend Peter Rapine would join us, but for those playing the home game and scorecards at home, Peter Rapine a scratch at that position today, and the designated hitter, Chris Pauls. Chris Pauls, our old friend and the co-executive producer of this program, who is a media mogul. And he joins us now from his home. CP, welcome back to the show. It's been much too long.
It's been a while, Todd. Yeah, you're way down the bench today. Way down it.
Not true at all. But we appreciate you filling in for Rapine. He's a little under the weather, and we wish him all the best in the hope that he sobers up soon. No, I'm just kidding. He's fine.
No, I mean, I checked in to see if it was bottle flu or not. It wasn't. He's legit sick.
It's the real deal.
Yeah. So,
all right, so help us out. These are, as we say with Rapine, you can find all of these stories at ebombsworld.com, ebombsworld.com, and you help oversee this entity. These are real stories now. You worked for The Onion for a while. This is not that. This is not satire. These are actual things that actual humans have done.
Yep, these are real stupid things done by real stupid people, Todd. And, we've got a whole slate today. First, I would like to say that on the what's worse today, it's boxing gloves for me. That's all
Boxing
I wear.
gloves.
Out in the cold. You see me drive. It's really, I recommend it. I mean, they come in handy for a variety of reasons.
Well, and if you drive through the wrong part of town, you're all set to go. Your hands are warm and you're prepared.
That's it, and the charges aren't as severe because of the glove. Anyway, should we get this little
Let's
party
get
on the
right
road?
to it. Sam is ready to go. He's joining us as well. And all right, let's get right into it. The week in review from EPOM's World CP. What's our first headline?
The first headline, it comes to us from Pennsylvania, Todd, and it's man claims he's had sex with every woman in Pennsylvania that he wanted to.
Man claims that he's had sex with every woman in Pennsylvania that he wanted to, and I feel like the wanted to is the key headline, part of the headline.
It totally is the absolutely thing you can't miss. And ladies, if you go and look at this fellow, I mean, what a catch. I think an idea of who this gentleman might be jumps into your head the second you hear the headline.
Right.
But he also wants the world to know, I should say the female world to know that he's moving to Nashville soon. So look out down there. And apparently size 6 is the number for him. So
so he's gone through the whole state of Pennsylvania at this point.
It's done.
And again, the key here is he's not had sex with every woman in Pennsylvania, but those that he wanted to. And so now he's moving on to Tennessee.
Yep. He's a discriminating gentleman. Just look at him. Do we still have these links on the site, on the Civic site?
Yeah, we will put them on there after the show. We put them in the show notes or whatever, so people can click on those. And yes, once you see this gentleman, the list of women who may have want to have relations with him is a pretty short list.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he just, for Wisconsin reference, he looks like the guy in '85 that was sitting outside the Quick Trip after it closed down.
The guy in 1985 sitting in front of the Quick Trip after it closed down. We all know that guy.
Yeah.
Heck, I was
That's
that
what I'm
guy.
here for, Todd. It's always great to be back in the Superstation, too.
It's great to have you along. Okay, very good. I can honestly say that I've never had sex in Pennsylvania, by the way, just for the record. All right, number 2, second headline from EPOM's World.
Couple smokes out all their guests with dry ice gender reveal party gone horribly wrong. So for those of our listeners who, I'm now going to poison your brain if you don't know what a gender reveal party is. This is where people that are going to have a baby make an absolutely ridiculous production out of a lot of nothing by revealing to the world what gender their baby is going to be. And in this particular video, they do it with dry ice and absolutely flood their house with smoke. First of all, you're having a child, like whoopee. Like no one has ever done that before. New in the annals of human history.
All right.
But I get that I'm supposed to be happy for you, but does everyone need to know? Well,
and also, why have these things become literal productions? I mean, I remember when it's like, oh, we're pregnant. Y'all, great, good for you. You know what it is yet? Either A, no, we're going to wait, or we're having a girl or having a boy. That's it. Now there's a whole industry to this headline. I mean, dry ice. I mean, did they bring in a Prince impersonator? I mean, what's going on?
This, people burn down entire forests doing this nonsense.
Yes.
But anyway, you think I'm screaming at the clouds now? Just wait in 4 minutes.
Okay. So the point of the story is this couple brought in a huge dry ice machine to the point where people were just suffocating out of there.
They're literally kind of pouring out of the house. There's all this pink smoke everywhere. It's it's worse than when they elect a new pope.
Which, by the way, could be happening very soon. All right. Headline number 3 of EPOM's World with CP.
Weed farm burns down, gives everyone in the area a free contact high.
Weed farm burns down and give everyone a contact high. This is one of my favorites of the week. This is absolutely fantastic. Explain.
Again, great video. Weed farm in Thailand, sadly caught on fire. Smoke didn't travel across the pond, sadly, but yeah, people in the immediate area, man, there's like the sound of chip bags opening everywhere.
I mean, this isn't any different than walking down Willie Street on a Saturday afternoon, quite frankly. But no, in Thailand, this cannot be intentional because these people lost a lot of money. Do you think this was arson? Do we have any reporting on this? Or somebody just dropped a match and the whole thing went up in smoke and everybody goes around thinking they're flying?
I don't know. Maybe a bong tipped over. Who knows? Like, however it happened, the immediate area was the total benefactor.
Well, and that's the great part of the story, right? Is that grandma, who probably never lit up in her life, is sitting there feeling really happy, and the grandkids finally see grandma a little
Your
happy.
point now, Todd, in Thailand, no glaucoma. None. Gone.
See? Helping the world, one bonfire at a time. We're talking with CP from EPOM's World. All these headlines, real things that wacky humans have done at epomsworld.com. All right, CP, next headline.
Remembering when a dude ate uranium on live TV to show, quote, that it's harmless.
Now, wait a
This
minute.
was a television
All right,
broadcast
explain this,
night-
eating uranium on live TV. And again, we have to, our lawyers are telling us, do
Yes.
not try this at home.
No. It is very harmless. You know, I think one comment said, like, once on the lips, half-life on the hips.
What prompted this individual to do this?
So
Do we
this
know?
guy, this gentleman it is in 1983, and it was after the 3 Mile Island accident.
Oh, yeah.
This gentleman was a member of the John Birch Society,
Of course.
which, like once an absolute ridiculed organization. Kind of surprised today they don't have a theme park. But maybe that's
John Birch Society theme park?
I mean, anyway. He's claimed that 3 Mile Island didn't happen, and he was a big proponent of safe nuclear power, which, if done correctly, I mean, the real problem with nuclear power is disposing of the waste, but I guess that's why we have Nevada. So he allegedly ate uranium on live television. Nobody could ever verify that it was actually uranium. He did live till 2008, to the ripe old age of 82 years old. So I doubt that he actually ingested uranium. He did this a number of different times, but I just thought it was kind of it is just a wild video. You should watch it.
Well, I think the moral of this story, CP, is don't ingest uranium because it's bad for Uranus. Anyway, next story. So headlines from Chris Paul's CP here at EPOM's World.
Sam, do you have a sound effect of shooting fish in a barrel? Because that's what Todd just did.
We've worked together for too long. You know, when you know someone since the kindergarten or whatever it was, you know.
It's true. This one is a more a visual thing, but it's really quite cool. Did this news station actually capture a UFO? So this is a guy about to do a weather report, and I forget which city it is, but it's the cityscape behind him, and all of a sudden this light like shoots across the screen, and he's like, "Hey, whoa!" And some people speculated that it's just a spotlight reflecting off the clouds. But again, pretty cool. Happened on live TV. You know, they're out there, Todd.
And this is like, you know, whether you're at WBAY TV in Green Bay or WISC TV in Madison or TMJ in Milwaukee, all these news stations now to bring you, and you've noticed this, it's all about right now. I mean, we got 6 inches of snow in Madison a couple weeks ago, and you would have thought it was, you know, Hurricane Irma about to land in Madison. And so now they have these weather cameras where they give you the real time. They want to show you the weather. And so is that what we're talking about here? One of these weather cams, and in live time, a UFO goes right across the screen.
Yep. And that's kind of the story of that. But it is kind of interesting video, and we'll let our listeners kind of make up their own mind if they can watch it.
Is it real
The next
or
one
not?
is sort of along these same lines. Hungry whale appears to eat kid, then spits him out.
Hungry whale eats kid and then appears to spit him out.
This
All
is a
right.
video that kind of went viral on Reddit this past week, where this dad allegedly videotaped his son in a kayak. A whale appears to drag him under and ingest him and then spit him out. Some people, again, speculating this is a fake, but I will tell you, if it's a fake, it's a very, very, very well done one because it looks very real.
Wow. What country is this from?
I mean,
supposedly.
Why would it's understandable why a whale would spit out a human being. Like, who wants to eat equal parts like resentment and anxiety? Like, who wants to eat that?
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that for dinner. But do we know what country this comes from? That makes a difference, but
one with an ocean, Todd. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, somewhere in the world. But this is apparently a kid's kayaking, and the whale comes. I have actually seen this video, and it is. I don't think it's fake. I think because you see this
pretty good. Like,
you see this every so often, right? Somebody's kayaking or whatever, and all of a sudden, like a humpback whale comes up and like lifts them out, or you know. I mean, we're just living in the fish's world, after all. We're invading their world.
It was all presented to us in Star Trek 4, Todd. And I just said
100%.
I just said that for Jeff Perry's benefit. 100% Jeff Perry's
Two whales named George and Gracie. We'll come back after this. More with CP. Actual headlines from actual wacky human beings. More Week in Review as we're live from Hayward at the American Birkebeiner here on the Civic Media Radio Network.
There's a party downtown on Main Street. Everybody's got a fever for the Berkey.
Very good, boys.
Excellent.
How much longer we got?
we have about I gotta give a couple of promos. We'll have like 5-ish minutes.
Okay, I got
by
like
the time.
more.
I mean, the segment is
little...
the segment's 7 minutes 20 seconds, but I gotta do a promo and then we gotta wrap it up. So 5-ish.
I've got 3 more, and then maybe we can just do this insufferable tease at the end.
Yeah, all right, at the end. All right, very good.
You still want your bang the drum theme in the last segment, Todd?
Sure, that's fine. We can do that.
How about a little super tanker?
Oh yeah, you should put. If you can find it, super tanker
broiler.
Super tanker. That's CP's group broiler. All right, super tanker broiler. We'll play there. We'll give him a little plug. That's fantastic. See.
Hey man, this is my first batch of pickles. Like, gotta spread this around, man. When are you coming back, Todd?
To Madison, I'm going to try to get back yet tonight, but then I got to go to Richland Center to do something with Brady and Brandon on tomorrow. But then I'll probably come back to Madison Sunday morning. So whatever time you want to meet, just not early.
Yeah, why don't we just do noon at the regular place?
Yeah. Noon at the place. All right. For all of those watching, if you want to join CP and I at the place, come on along.
You know, not a single person.
Yeah, nobody's texted in. Oh, here we have a texter. What do they say?
Get him.
Welcome back to our special coverage of the American Birkebeiner in Hayward, Wisconsin. It's the Todd Allbaugh Show live on location here in beautiful Hayward. WBZH, our beautiful station up here in Hayward. That music, Sam, nicely done there. Great band called Super Tanker, based out of Madison, Wisconsin. And one of the leads, the guitar player, singer, songwriter extraordinaire. He's a Renaissance man. CP, Chris Pauls, who joins us now. Great band, CP. I've seen you guys play, and people should come out. They can find you on Facebook, I know, at Super Tanker. Any big gigs coming up soon?
We're going to be at Summerfest again this summer, it sounds
Nice.
like. And we're going to be playing at the High Noon Saloon in June. There'll be some other stuff on the site. But yeah, thanks, Sam, for the plug there. Super Tanker. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, great band. And also our mutual friend, Rocker, who you guys have played together, their bands before, and he went through a little not a little, I'm understating it, health incident here a while ago. He's talked about that on MaxSync Radio. There's a big benefit concert for him to help pay with the expenses coming up on May 4th, and I know I'm going to be there. I'm assuming you're going to be there, and more information on that soon, but people should get out on May 4th for that.
Yep, absolutely. I happened to be there that night. We were the band that was on the bill with them. It was quite, frankly, one of the more traumatic things I've ever seen in my life. But it's had a happy ending, and everybody should help them as much as they can.
Yeah, Rocker was on back on MaxSync Radio this last week, kind of sharing some of that stuff, and very powerful radio. So very thankful that he is on the road to recovery, and more information about that great concert coming up on May 4th. You can find Super Tanker, as CP said, at Spotify, and what else, CP?
YouTube, and our site is supertankerband.us. So.
All right, very good. There you go. All right, back to the matter at hand. More wacky headlines we can review, courtesy of ePalm's World. CP in for an ill rapine this week. What's the next headline, CP?
Dude wakes up to discover he ate the whole hotel minibar.
Now, wait a minute. The dude wakes up to find out he ate the whole hotel minibar. Explain.
So everybody knows that hotel minibars are the biggest ripoff, like, in all of America. And this poor kid went to bed, apparently had quite a night of it, and he consumed everything at the hotel minibar. I'm assuming this cost him thousands of dollars. But he did a little video about it. It's cute. It's kind of funny. Anybody who's ever shown up kind of late at night in a hotel room and found things closed and dipped into the minibar, there always is a little sticker shock the next day.
It adds up quickly. I think I've only dived in, I think, twice ever, and I think I had like a beer out of it or something. It was like $20. It was just like, really, seriously.
Yeah, you really haven't lived till you've eaten a $17 bag of Cheetos.
Right. All right. What else you got? Next headline.
It turns out you can get a VIP table at Popeyes now.
At Popeyes.
It's true.
The fast food restaurant.
As this video demonstrates, these people got table service at Popeyes, and I got to tell you, like, it kind of looks like the thing for me. I mean,
should we have our next meeting there?
I think we totally could. At least the furor over the chicken sandwich has calmed down somewhat, and we don't have to worry about being stabbed in line.
Now, I've seen video of this, and the staff of Popeyes, like some of these restaurants, they come out, and cheer you on when you have a birthday or whatever. But I mean, it's like I don't understand what the VIP part is. Like, do they bring you out like a gold bucket of chicken, or what are they doing?
I mean, you'll have to watch the video. They come out. There's a little bit of TGI Friday-ish song and dance, but I got to say it's way leveled up from that, and totally worth it. Plus, I just love the chicken. As I get older, as I rapidly age, probably right in front of all the viewers' eyes, like, I'm kind of a fried chicken guy in my old age.
Are you really? I haven't. Well,
I think I'd rather have it than a steak these days, to be honest.
Did you see that KFC is pulling out of Kentucky and going to Texas?
Yes. Let's be honest.
They also left our hometown. There's no more KFC in Richland Center. It's been there since we were in high school.
To quote Pat and Oswald, it all headed south with them with the failure pile and the sadness bowl. When they put all that stuff in that bowl, that was the end.
Right.
We all should have known this day was inevitable.
All right. One more headline, CP.
I got one for you. It's a doozy. Colombia's president says whiskey is as bad as cocaine, and we're racist for banning it.
Whiskey is as bad as cocaine, and we, the United States people, are racist for banning it.
I don't, the racist part. Peter
Right.
tarted up that headline a little bit, but he does seem to suggest that cocaine is frowned upon because it's mostly produced in Latin America and in select horse trailers around the United States. But
horse trailers.
Everybody should just go on and watch the video and just kind of let the guy speak for himself. See if
All right. Well, you can find all these. You can find all these headlines at ebombsworld.com. Thank you, CP. We appreciate you filling in. Now, you have a big announcement here. What's going on here?
In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be back to talk about something we're going to do on the show that's going to be brave new world for us. And I'm really excited about it. We've been working on it for a long time. Let's just say that it will be around the NCAA tournament time and might have a little bit of linkage to that. But I thought I would come on here and do an insufferable tease. And hopefully people will tune in a couple of weeks and we'll have a big announcement for them.
All right. CP will be back in a couple of weeks with a big announcement. We appreciate you, CP. Thank you so much for everything you do for the show and for filling in for Repine today. Great job. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Sam.
Appreciate you. All right. Also, thanks to our friend, also Brady Ewing from Richland. It's a big Richland Center show today, or it was. Brady Ewing as well. Also, Ryan Kramer for being on the show, and all the participants of the Birkenbinder. Thanks to Sam Davidson for filling in for Zommers today. Appreciate you, Sam. Have a great weekend. Maggie Dawn is next. Whatever you're fighting for, whatever you believe in, do not give up. Keep banging your drum. We'll see you on Monday with Matt Flynn. All right, thank you, Sam. I got to record a thing here. You have time, or